I think there must be something wrong with me, Linus. Christmas is coming, but I'm not happy. I don't feel the way I'm supposed to feel. I just don't understand Christmas, I guess. I like getting presents and sending Christmas cards and decorating trees and all that, but I'm still not happy. I always end up feeling depressed.
I wanted to wear this Christmas hat on top of my own beanie just to make it, you know, more Christmassy, but the thing is, it kind of looks ridiculous. Like, it doesn't fit on my head at all with the beanie on. You know, I could just take the beanie off, but like, why would I break my brand image? So, no Christmas hat this year. This beanie is my Christmas hat. Let's just put it that way. There's a reason why I wanted to start this video with that Charlie Brown Christmas quote. Even though this doesn't have any personal nostalgia for me, and since I only watched this special a couple of years ago, that quote has always stuck out to me. I've always wondered why that was the case, but then recently it hit me. That quote encapsulates a state of mind that I have been in for the past couple of years now. That I have been unable to get into the quote, Christmas spirit. There's no reason why I should be feeling like this, but despite being constantly surrounded by all the sights, sounds, and joyous festivities that come with this holiday season, I just can't seem to shake off this feeling of disillusionment. I want to make this perfectly clear that I do not hate Christmas at all, but for me personally, I wish I could enjoy it more than I do currently. But it's not like I can just force myself to get into the Christmas spirit either, because I tried doing that by watching a lot of Christmas-themed anime episodes in the hopes that, like the Grinch, my heart would also grow 3 sizes. But a lot of these episodes, even some of the good ones, just didn't do anything for me. I guess the problem could stem from the fact that these episodes often occur pretty late into their respective series' running order, so I probably would have gotten more out of them had I watched the episodes that preceded them. But on the contrary, it's to my understanding that Christmas specials are generally self-contained, and they do bring the audience up to speed regardless of whether you're watching the series for the first time or not, so it shouldn't have necessarily taken away from my enjoyment of these episodes. But either way, I was still left feeling empty after having watched all these episodes. However, there is one Christmas special that managed to actually make me feel something during this time of holiday blues. Something that I wouldn't mind adding to my collection of Christmas specials that I can watch every year. Deegwit everyone, I'm IrishAnimeFan, and today we are going to be talking about what I consider to be the best Christmas special that anime has to offer. That's not Tokyo Godfathers, but that is in a completely different league of its own. The episode in question is episode 22 of Kimi ni Todoke. Many people would describe Kimi ni Todoke as a romance anime, and they're not wrong. The series does hinge on the will they or won't they relationship of our 2 main leads, but I also believe that it's just as valid to view the series as a coming-of-age tale. As it's set in a high school setting, this naturally comes with the territory, but I believe Kimi ni Todoke does it so well, and it achieves that in large part due to our main protagonist, Sawako Kuronuma. Sawako is introduced as a painfully shy and sensitive pushover who is frequently compared to Sadako from The Ring by the rest of her peers. I feel ya girl, I mean, I can never seem to beat the Ed Sheeran allegations myself. But upon meeting Shota Kazahaya on her way to school and having the first remotely positive interaction she's had with another human being is when everything starts to change for her. From gradually making friends with the rest of her classmates, most notably Ayano and Chizuru who stand by her side through thick and thin, to standing up for herself whenever conflict arises. Sawako is probably one of the most relatable characters I've seen in any medium, let alone anime. It's honestly kind of scary how much I can relate to her. Watching her navigate through the daunting world of high school that is rife with confusion and misunderstandings really reminds me of my own school experiences. But it's the way she's written as this unassuming, selfless, and kind-hearted girl who just wants to form meaningful connections with her friends is what endears her to the audience. I could go on, but I'll save the rest of my thoughts on this series for another time. Especially since we're finally getting a third season that's airing next year. Oh my god, you cannot believe how excited I am that we're getting new Kimi ni Todoke. Now, having prior knowledge of what came before would probably help in understanding how it fits in the main story, but like I said before, it's not a requirement that you do that, and the episode can still be enjoyed on its own terms. The episode begins with the start of winter vacation. To celebrate the end of the semester, Kazehaya organizes a Christmas Eve party for everyone in the class. That includes Sawako. Knowing that all her friends will be attending the party, Sawako really wants to go. However, due to the pressure exuding from her parents, particularly her father, to spend Christmas as a family this year, she feels as if she cannot go after all. I know this feeling all too well. It's not the fear of missing the party itself per se, but more the fear of missing out on further developing the bonds that you made between your friends. Sawako spends her time fantasizing about attending the party, giving her friends her handmade gifts, and how happy that makes her feel, but other things just get in the way of making that happen. In Sawako's case, it's her dad reminding that her birth around this time gives him a lot of happiness during this time, thus making Sawako feel guilty about leaving her parents alone to go to some party. Her plans are further intercepted by her dad finding the present that she made for Kazehaya and mistaking it as a present for himself, putting her in a more compromised position than she already was. Spending time with family for the holidays is certainly important. It's a privilege that many people just do not have at this time. But while I can say that I've never been alone at Christmas, that's not to say that I haven't felt lonely, if that makes any sense. This is especially apparent when you feel dissociated from the world around you, but you just have to act like you're having a good time even though you're not really feeling it. I hope my parents never watch this video. Merry Christmas! The night goes on, and just as Sawako begins to resign herself to spending yet another Christmas feeling lonely, the family phone starts ringing. Sawako goes to answer, and on the other end of the line is Chizuru, Ayano, and finally Kazehaya, checking up on her and telling her that the party would be a lot more fun if she were there having fun with them. Oh, she has such good friends, my heart can't take it anymore! Sawako, feeling overwhelmed by the sentiment at this moment, starts crying. While Karaho Shina created the original manga and Hiro Kaburagi is credited as the series director for the anime, I have to give props to Hiroshi Nagahama, Toshimasa Kuroyanagi, and Hitomi Hasegawa, who served as storyboarder, episode director, and animation director respectively for making this episode stand out. This scene is my favorite in the episode because while it is the emotional centerpiece, it's not overly dramatic in its execution. It relishes in its mostly still shot composition and deliberate lack of music, allowing its melancholic atmosphere to sink in and let the emotions of the scene wash over you. Sometimes the quiet approach can be the most cathartic. This scene always gets me emotional every time I watch it because not only does it effectively weave in that classic true meaning of Christmas message that you get in every Christmas special, but the gesture that her friends make here is something that I wish had happened to me. And that's something I rarely feel in media these days, so it's quite a testament. It is such a beautiful moment. Anyway, after that emotional phone call, Sawako finally has permission from her dad to go to the party, and he also gives his Christmas present to her. That being her first cell phone. She thanks him for the gift and soon heads out to see her friends. However, despite her best efforts in getting there, she was ultimately too late as the party had already ended and everybody went home. That is until she notices Kazehaya waiting for her outside in the hopes that she would show up, and lo and behold, she does. Sawako takes this opportunity to tell Kazehaya that she had just gotten a cell phone for Christmas, delighting Kazehaya. They then exchange their contact information, which makes Kazehaya the first ever contact that Sawako has ever had. It's an adorable way to wrap up this Christmas themed episode, and it's moments like these which make me love Kimi ni Todoke so much. Now, out of all the Christmas episodes I've seen, what makes this one stand out to me? I think it's because while it doesn't shy away from depicting the melancholy vibes that can arise from the holidays, it still manages to weave in that hopeful and traditional true meaning of Christmas message at the end. In the beginning, Sawako really wanted to be involved in everybody's excitement for the holidays, but for whatever reason, things just don't pan out for her. Even though she tries to make the most out of a compromised situation, it still weighs heavily on her mind. Even though she was able to go, she still ends up missing the party. However, just as she was about to lose hope, Kazehaya steps in to remind her that it wasn't the party itself that mattered, but that she was able to, if just for a little bit, spend Christmas time with the people who do care about her. I guess it is kind of like a Charlie Brown Christmas after all. Now, I bet you're expecting this video to end in quite a predictable way. I'm presented with a problem, I go on a journey in order to fix said problem, and then I come out of this a completely different person by the end. That seems to be the average procedure for your average Christmas special. But as I stated in the beginning, this video isn't your average Christmas special. Sure, in the past I would have ended videos in a way that gave the impression of finding closure during times of distress, but as I've gotten older, it's just not as simple as that. As much as I love Kimi ni Todoke and that episode in particular, I haven't become a different person all of a sudden, despite this episode making me feel things. If I'm being honest, I still haven't shaken off that sense of disillusionment, and I'll probably still be in it long after I finished making this video. But that doesn't offer a satisfying conclusion, so I'll instead leave you with this. While this episode may not have magically fixed my problem overnight, just knowing that it exists at all and that it did make a significant impression on me makes the process of working through whatever I'm going through right now easier to deal with. It showed me that I'm not alone in feeling this way during this time, and to those of you who are watching this video right now and are experiencing the same thing, I can assure you that you are not alone either. Wherever you may be during the holidays, stay safe out there. You got this. Nulgshana. Thank you for watching the video. I've been IrishAnimeFan, and until next time, Slán.